Okay, this is Suzanne Miller, Dunrovin Ranch. On a Tuesday afternoon, can everybody hear me? Please type in the chat that you can hear me. This whole new technology for me, I'm flying blind. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, this is Suzanne Miller, Dunrovin Ranch. On a Tuesday afternoon, can everybody hear me? Please type in the chat that you can hear me. This whole new technology for me, I'm flying blind. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, this is Suzanne Miller, Dunrovin Ranch. On a Tuesday afternoon, can everybody hear me? Please type in the chat that you can hear me. Okay, I keep getting an echo again. This whole new technology for me, I'm flying blind. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, this is Suzanne Miller, Dunrovin Ranch. On a Tuesday afternoon, can everybody hear me? Please type in the chat that you can hear me. Okay, I keep getting an echo again. This whole new technology for me, I'm flying blind. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, this is Suzanne Miller, Dunrovin Ranch. On a Tuesday afternoon, can everybody hear me? Please type in the chat that Okay, I'm trying again. I think James may have straightened the whole thing out. I swear I don't understand this whole system. Can people hear me? Please let me know on the chat that you can hear me. And see Jackie with Gentleman Jax's new sister. Can people see the Gentleman Jax's new sister and his mother, Jackie? Please respond in the chat. That's the only way I have to communicate with you. I believe I'm transmitting live, and I believe that you should be able to hear me. Okay, you are seeing and hearing me, Celia? Please respond yes or no to this question. Okay, James says everybody can hear me. So this morning, about 9 o'clock in the morning, Jackie gave birth to Gentleman Jax's sister. We have a filly among us now, another mare. This is going to be really fun. Let me show you some photos of her. She looks exactly like Gentleman Jax. This is all very exciting. She's very big and she's very strong. I have a couple short videos from Kate as well. She didn't get the entire birth. She got the beginning of the birth, and then she had to, you know, she has a lot of balls in the air. So there's my friend Jan Sousa with the filly. That I'm going to name this filly Lady Lucy, and the reason for Lucy is derived from the Latin lux, and Lady Lucy's sire is Gentleman Lux. So this filly is named after her sire, whereas Jax was named after his dam. So we have a brother-sister pair, Gentleman Jax and Lady Lucy. She's a full sister, Paula. Same father and same mother, same genetics exactly. And they look almost identical. They're going to make a fabulous pair of draft horses. Now, the fun thing about a filly is, 5 years from now, we too could have a young one here. So now you can no longer refer to Lady Lanza as LL because we have two LL mares. One's a filly, of course, Lady Lucy, and the other one is our Lady Lonza. She's a big girl. And look at her facial markings. They're very, very similar to Gentleman Jack's. Almost the exact same kind of blaze. And Gentleman Jack's is out there shedding out his winter white coat, and his palomino coloring is starting to come through right now. So you can see his blaze. All this winter, you could barely see his blaze because of his whitish winter coat, but he's losing that now and it's more prominent. Nicole doesn't know about this yet. She's going to be over the moon. You can see what a big girl she is, and she's strong as can be, according to Kate. Let's show a couple short videos here. So this is Jackie just going into labor at 9 o'clock this morning. And this is about as much of a video as I've gotten from Kate at this point. I think she'll send me more later. I think this was a hard birth for Jackie, and I'm not sure why, and I don't know that Kate knows why either. These are just little snippets that Kate has been sending me all morning. So here she milked Jackie to get the colostrum, make sure that Lady Lucy got a really good dose of it right away. So that's what she's feeding Lady Lucy now, and you can see she's a very eager eater. Very healthy little filly. I will go up there in the coming days and get some real good photos and some more videos of her.
Where are you going?
I mean, this is within minutes of her having gotten up. Very sturdy. Kate said she never got down once she got up. She just stayed up, and she's still up. And here you can see her eagerly getting her first big meal from her mother. What a beauty, don't you think? This is going to be so much fun in the coming years to train these horses and to help people who with wheelchairs enjoy a ride around the community of Lolo. This will really be fun. Gorgeous horses. I don't know how many offspring Jackie has had. I know she had one before she came to the Sousa Ranch, but this is, I think, the second one that at the Sousa Ranch. I've bought both of Jackie and Gentleman Jack's foals. So let me leave a picture of her up there. There she is. And there's my friend Jan Carr. Yeah, I haven't talked to Nicole now that she knows. I know Nicole's going to be over the moon. So this was a really fun surprise this morning. Unfortunately, we didn't have the web camera all adjusted and everything up there for them to have it turned on, but they notified me as soon as things were happening that it was happening. And I'm just glad everything went really well, that Jackie's good and that the foal came out very well, no problem at all, and is so healthy and big. I hope she has Gentleman Jack's personality. This will be another foal for Nicole to train. It's going to really be fun. And I just got off the telephone to Brandon Carpenter. Brandon Carpenter will be here for the weekend of June 3rd and 4th, and he will work with Nicole on Saturday, June 3rd. And then we are going to be doing a special presentation in collaboration with Bridget Hassig's organization, Visible Hands Collaborative, on June 4th, Sunday, June 4th. So we got some good things coming, and I'm sorry that our broadcast system isn't quite up to broadcasting everything right now, but who knows, maybe by then we'll have some news from the insurance company about getting a payout for our insurance claim. We're working at it. Lots in the mill. This has all kept James hopping too. It's been a lot of work for him, and I really want to thank him for doing so much work relative to it. I hope you don't mind my having gone ahead and just named this little filly, but it just occurred to me that Lucy, because it is derived from Lux and her sire is Gentleman Lux, that this made a really good, nice, tight circle. The son named after the mother and the daughter named after the father. I really liked that sort of balance. She will not come here until she is weaned, which won't be until November probably. She'll stay up there with her mother, but Kate will send us periodic pictures and I will go up and take some pictures myself. Oh, I'm glad you approve of the name, Celia. Names are important to me. I really like to have names that have some meaning to the context of the animal or the person. Well, Delaney, I think of these horses as our horses. You guys really help me take care of them. You're always watching. You care about them. You've really provided a wonderful background. And so I think of these as community horses. Community, it's all part of our community, including the horses. So Nicole has been worried about passersby going over and interacting with Jax. And indeed, I think we're going to have to fence something off because he's going to get as spoiled as Augie was. Everyone's attracted to him and wants to go over there and pet him. And that's all good and well. But I was out there yesterday with him in the mare's pen, and he's too pushy. I've sort of lost some stability in terms of my balance, etc. And he wouldn't back off from me exactly. I mean, not without some serious pressure applied to him. So I don't want people playing with him over the fence. So I think Nicole is absolutely right. We need to prevent people from coming up and playing with him over the fence. he needs to learn some respect. He's way too big to be pushing in people's faces like Augie did. We let Augie get away with that kind of thing, and we were paying for it. So we haven't had another filly on the ranch since, I believe, about 2000, and maybe it was 15 or 16, maybe 15, that Lonza had Serena, and Serena was taken by my former ranch manager, Daniel Berlut, to Helena, Montana. And Serena has since had a foal of her own. So Lady Lonza had two fillies before she had Augie. And it's true that the fillies and the colts they're different. They behave differently. The fillies are a little bit more rambunctious in many ways, a little more demanding. Well, what Brandon is teaching Nicole to do with Jax is exactly the right thing to do. We just have to keep repeating it. But the problem is that'll be ruined by people interacting over the fence. The key is to keep them from having poor interactions with people. Brandon likes to say, every time you touch a horse, you're training it. You're either increasing its training or you're decreasing its training. And people just coming and hanging over the fence and playing with him and allowing them to mouth them is not a good thing. We just have to stop it. Yes, Sue Girl belonged to one of our wranglers, and she was a really beautiful horse. That was Kyla Tubal's horse. And then Echo was Sally Sook's horse. And then we also had Grace, if you guys remember, Tamar Casberg had Grace. She was a gray horse. Do you remember Grace? She lived here for about 3 years, I think. She was very quiet, very shy. The only way really to get less public access is to rope the public off. I mean, that's the problem, is people are so drawn to him and I want to keep him in the mare's pen because he's got some room to roam during this period of time while they can't be on the pastures. But the problem with the mare's pen is that it's right on the road. People see him and they walk up to him. So we're going to put some signs. Nicole's on that now. Put some signs, and I think we'll rope off the corner where there is more access. I think we can control people coming from the ranch side, but coming from the road side is very difficult. So I'm anxious to talk to James to understand what I'm doing wrong to get that terrible echo. I don't understand it. And when I can't control it if I don't understand it. This is all part of my old dog learning new tricks from James. His mind just clicks along at 100 miles an hour. Here I am back at about 5 miles an hour these days. Oh yes, Monty was just like the divas, able to open any gate. Monty's just a fabulous horse who's been here forever. He came right after Lady Lonza was born. Lonza was still young when Monty showed up, so they've had a long relationship. Lonza's the one who's been here the longest now. It used to be Mickey, I think. I'm not sure of that. Somebody could correct me on that, but I know I had Power and Denali when Lonza was born. Annie, of course. We had Annie for years. Yeah, James has the patience of 1,000 saints and is always willing to help me. I don't know if he's on listening to us right now, but I greatly appreciate his patience because it can be trying, I'm sure, when you just don't get it. And frankly, I get how to launch Zoom, but I don't understand why some of the tabs I have open create the echo. That's what I don't understand. I want people to be able to hear me, but eliminate the echo, and I don't understand the difference between what does and doesn't. So I'll need to corner him when he's down here again. So at this point, I'm going to branch out and see if I can show everybody the ranch camera right now. This may cause an echo, so I'll be quiet. I'll say something just for a second. And then if an echo comes, I'll just be quiet so that it doesn't bother anything. Okay, I'm going to see if this echoes on me, if this is the problem when I have the actual ranch camera up. Can people hear me? Okay, no echo. That's great. This is terrific. This gives me confidence that I can get on here once in a while and make something happen. Look at all the smoke that we have in the area. This is not from fires in Montana, but from fires in Alberta. There's a big cold system that is pushing smoky air down from Canada to the United States. They say it'll last another day or two. You can see our south pasture is taking its sweet time to green up. We planted a lot of seed out there and provided it with a lot of nutrients, but it's really taking its time. And I think in part that was because we had to have the horses there for so long. I'm going to have to figure out something else for the horses during the winter. I've got ideas and I'm hopeful that one of them will come through that would really be fun. I'm not going to explain what my idea is until I put it into action, but it could be a lot of fun. You can see our trees are all in bloom here. Our apple trees and plum trees and all of that, and our dandelions. This is an apple tree here, a little apple tree. But our lilacs are in bloom too, and I know Celia likes to check out the lilacs, so let me go look at those. I can't get over how much I miss having access to all the cameras, particularly the river cam. I'm all upset about not seeing Mr. and Mrs. Kingfisher. I worry about them during the flood. Don't ask me why. I mean, they're accustomed to all this sort of thing, but I like to worry about them. So our lilacs are coming out, or actually are out pretty full. And this is Power's tree. It's just about to burst into bloom, starting to bloom here. It's got some blooms on it. We should start getting some blooms on Bonnie and Clyde's tree. Let's go check and see if it's showing any blooms. Well, I think that birch is hiding the Bonnie and Clyde's tree from us. I don't see anything in bloom over there. I'll have to go out on foot and see what's happening out there. But tomorrow we have a guy coming and he's going to be taking down one of my favorite trees. And I'm just heartbroken about losing this tree. I'm going to show you this tree. It's right next to my office, if the camera will cooperate here. As I said in the newsletter, the camera no longer has all of the pan, tilt, zoom because of the lightning strike. So we're happy that it works at all, but it's much more stationary than it was before. So I guess I can't see that tree. It's a flowering crab apple tree that has these beautiful white blossoms every spring, and it just snows petals every year in my back deck. I love that tree. And yet it is starting to break the foundation of our building, and it's also cracked down at the base of the trunk. So it's going to fall over, and we don't want it to fall on the house or the building. So we're taking it down. It's half down now, and he's going to complete the job tomorrow. Boy, we've got some bugs on the camera here. Always exciting. Let's take a look at the river, see how the river's flooded. It's supposed to get pretty high this weekend. And indeed, you can see it's overflowing its banks over there. I'm glad we can still see this part of the river, that it's not hidden by housing. It's a good place to watch where the flood's happening, since we don't have the river camera right now. I can assure you, as soon as we get a settlement from the insurance company, James will be on it. He's got himself all organized already. Well, if there aren't any other questions or any specific things that people want to talk about, yes, that's a really nice photo, Paula. That's a cedar waxwing. Was that in Power's tree? Looks like it. Let's check out the back of the nest. Did I read that Harriet has not yet gotten a fish today. Yes, waxwings do eat the blossoms, and I remember I made a video of that last year or the year before. I'm not sure what. It all blends together in my mind right now. I got thousands of videos, thousands of pictures, and it's getting to the point where I can't remember anymore. For a while, I was able to kind of catalog them in my mind, but I can't do that nearly as well right now. Okay, I'm going to sign off and thank everybody for joining me. I'll try to work with James to stop messing around with the beginning of these broadcasts and get it down pat. May take me a while, but I appreciate your patience. Well, we can't have Swoopy slowing down just as the need's gonna, triple here once those chicks start hatching. He's always been so wonderful in the past. I don't understand. Thank you, Delady. Yes, we'll have to remember this. May 18th, great day for a new filly. Thank you all for joining me. Very much appreciated.